Welcome to another style study video. I am Matt, and in this video we are taking a look at style 2B International Amber Lager. But before we do that, I do need to give my normal disclaimer, which is I do not represent the BJCP in any way, shape, or form. The BJCP does not endorse nor authorize this video, nor this video series as a whole. This is merely my documentation of my journey, my studying, my path towards hopeful BJCP beer judge certification. All right, with that out of the way, let us take a look at 2B International Amber Lager. So starting off with overall impression, we have a well-attenuated malty amber lager with an interesting caramel or toasty quality and restrained bitterness. Usually fairly well attenuated, often with adjunct quality. Smooth, easily drinkable lager character. Now, going down to the vitals, we have a color range, the SRM, of 7 to 14. The IBUs range from 8 to 25. The original gravity is 1.042 to 1.055. And final gravity is 1.008 to 1.012, giving us an ABV range of 4.6 to 6%, which I think is exactly what International Pale Lager was, if memory serves me correctly. Okay, on to the characteristics that we're going to be focusing on when we get to judging one of these beers, starting with aroma. Low to moderate malt aroma, which can be grainy with a very low to moderate caramel sweet to toasty malty aroma. Hop aroma can range from low to none with a mildly floral or spicy character. Clean lager profile, a slight DMS or corny aroma is acceptable. On to appearance, golden amber to reddish copper color, bright clarity, white to off-white foam head which may not last. Going on to flavor, low to moderate malt profile which can vary from dry to grainy sweet. Low to moderate levels of caramel and toasty bready notes can be evident. Low to medium-low corny sweetness is optional but not a fault. Hop bitterness is low to moderate and hop flavor is low to moderate with a spicy herbal or floral character. The balance may be fairly malty to nearly even, with the bitterness becoming more noticeable but not objectionable. The bitterness level can increase if the malt character increases to match. Clean fermentation profile, finish is moderately dry with a moderately malty aftertaste. And finally, mouthfeel, which is very short and to the point. It says light to medium body, medium to high carbonation, smooth. Some examples can be creamy. And the rest of this entry with the comments, the history, and the character ingredients, you of course can look up at the bjcp.org website or download their style guides. Either way, that is not what we're going to judge if this matches the history or has used the character ingredients, because we will not know at tasting. So let's jump to the commercial examples. And we got a few here. A few that are, I don't know if they're common, but they're findable. Again, we're not quite in a really, I don't want to say obscure, I would say the less common range. Maybe if I read it, it'll make more sense. Brooklyn Lager, Capital Winter Skull, Dos Equis Amber, Shell's Oktoberfest, and Yingling Lager. So a couple of those I think are pretty common throughout at least this country, at least this state. That's the only one I can really vouch for right now. Okay, so let's get to the initial look here. Here are all the highlights you just saw, of course, if you're new to the series. I do have a score sheet ready, which I set the bottle down on the table earlier, and I got a little water spot there. I'll try not to tear through that with my pencil when we get to it. But let me show you what I got. I do have one of the examples, which is always nice to have one of the examples, and it is the Brooklyn Lager. So let's take an initial look. I'm not going to do... There's a good hiss. I'll need that for my notes later. I'm not going to do the competition pour for this viewing so we can take a better look at the aroma, because that's one thing I want to do in this scoring. I've been struggling with aroma, and it might have something to do with the first 5 videos. I think 5 videos so far have all been in the lager range. So aroma is not going to be a strong thing, but I have been struggling with it. So I want to concentrate on aroma on this score, and let's take a kind of start off this initial look at everything with aroma, a better aroma, instead of pouring a 18-inch head on there. So let's look at aroma. We're looking for light to moderate malt. Oh, which is okay. And it may, I don't know if it's something to do with the beer itself or the the fact that I poured it that way, I do get a nice sweet maltiness. In fact, I was going to say caramel, and that's what I'm looking for next. Very low to moderate caramel to toasty malt. Not toast, but I get caramel. None to mild hop. I would say none, unless that's attributing to the sweetness of the caramel and clean lager profile. That I get that recognizable yeast of a lager. And appearance, gold amber to reddish copper. I didn't really know what golden amber meant until I saw this. I don't know if it's coming across on camera, but that is a perfect color description for that, is golden amber. Bright clarity, absolutely bright. White, off-white head, we'll look at that. I'll do a second pour before we go. Actually, I can, because I'm doing flavor and mouthfeel. I don't really need to hit the aroma anymore. So let's see if we can rouse that head a little bit. All right. I'm sure if I poured this competition pour, we'd probably get a decent head, but I would say it's a little off-white. Again, I don't know if it's coming up in camera, but a little off-white, which is acceptable. Flavor. We get low to moderate malt to start with. No, excuse me. And I would say absolutely moderate malt. Very, very malty lager, but without being cloyingly malty. You know, I should save some of these details for the sheet. Low to moderate caramel, toasty bready notes. Yes. Yes, on the toasty bready notes. Very, very dead on that description. Low to moderate bitterness. There is a definite noticeable bitterness here, so I wouldn't say it's more than moderate, but it's a little more than low. Clean fermentation, absolutely. You could kind of tell that from the smell or the aroma. Mouthfeel, light to medium body. Yep, it's more towards medium, but not being full-bodied. Medium to high carbonation. It is highly carbonated. There is still carbonation rolling off this, like I just poured it. And smooth and creamy, I would say absolutely is a base descriptor. I just need to elaborate on that. All right, I am going to go ahead, pause this, set my timer for 12 minutes, really concentrate on aroma, but fill out the score sheet completely, and I'll be back to let you know what I got. Alrighty, 12 minutes have passed. I filled out my score sheet. It's pretty thorough this time. I don't know if I'm happy with all the descriptors yet, but that's, again, something that's going to be worked on. I'm not entirely happy with my handwriting. I've kind of gotten a little sloppy. This is the second one I've done tonight, and the hand cramping came up in the second one. I got through the first one, but again, it's all the muscles in the hand from handwriting. All I do is type or on my phone with my thumb, so gotta work out those muscles that usually don't involve a pencil or pen. So, all right. Something I said I was going to do last episode. Let's do it now. Let me do a competition pour. There's a little beer in there, but we can still do it. And we can take a look at what the head really looks like. It never quite gets up to the level some of the past ones did. So there's a better look at the head for anyone that wanted to get a full picture of what this beer looked like as an example. All right. Onto the score sheet. So we have the usual suspects at the top. Category 2, subcategory B. Entry number, Brooklyn Lager. Subcategory, International Amber Lager. Bottle inspection, check. Branded cap, appropriate fill. Good hiss on open. All right. Aroma. So this is the one I was trying to concentrate on. And not so much filling out the sheet. I've never really had much trouble filling out the aroma sheet. What I'm talking about is picking out things to talk about in the aroma. So let's see how I did here. So I said prominent caramel aroma, sweet malt base found aroma. Oh, sweet. Yeah. Ooh, I think I messed up. I should have went back and read. But I did write sweet malt base found aroma dominant. It probably should have said sweet base malt aroma dominant had I gone back and read this. Very faint floral, almost rose-like hop aroma in the background. Clean yeast character with the recognizable lager yeast, tart, almost sour presence. Those last couple things with the hops and the yeast, I was pretty happy with. I was glad I could pick those out. So again, some more things that'll just come in the more we go. I gave it 11 out of 12 on aroma. Appearance, golden amber in color. I totally stole that from the guidelines. I don't know if I'll remember it if I get International Amber Lager when it comes time to testing, but we'll see. Crystalline clarity. I was very happy with that descriptor instead of extremely clear like I've been saying. So crystalline clarity. I'm going to put that in, try to internalize that for later. Off-white head on pour with tiny, tight white bubbles that quickly receded to a thin, tight color that circled the inside of the glass, and 3 out of 3 on appearance. Flavor, sweet, malty base over the entire palate. Moderate caramel character, particularly over the tongue. A very complementary bitterness supporting the malts. Overall leaning towards a malty side of the balance. A crisp, dry finish with both a malty sweet and bitter lingering aftertaste. And I gave that a 17 out of 20. Mouthfeel, between light and medium bodied, an admirable creamy texture with a slight carbonic sting, a touch of puckering on the sides of the tongue and the back of the palate. And I gave that a 3 out of 5. Overall impression, a very fun beer to drink. Very rich in taste profile for this style, a little more sweet than balanced. May benefit from an increase in late addition hops to increase hop aroma and flavor. Very clean, crisp, and refreshing. Would love to enjoy this beer again, given the opportunity. And that was an 8 out of 10 and a total of 42 out of 50, which puts it in the excellent range. However, I just realized I completely failed the score sheet. Why? Because I didn't fill out that little box. I'm going to fill it out now. Talk about what it is. I'm going to go, let's see. So I went with second to the classic style. So I don't know if you can see that. One over from classic example. Flawless and wonderful for the intangibles. So fail on that part. I got to remember to do everything, absolutely everything. I didn't pick out any particular things here, though I was leaning towards astringency and the mouthfeel, but I don't think the puckering was not completely astringent. I think it may have just come with the character of the beer. I didn't really find it as a flaw. I was just finding something to what I was just writing, what I was experiencing, which is kind of the point of this. That is it. The only thing I have left to do is say thank you for watching, and I'll be back with another style study video very soon.